Next on the Night Beat, Winter Storm Bing heading for Connecticut. The latest forecast coming up. Shoppers try to get the jump on the snow with a busy night in the stores.
A report from New York tonight on closing arguments in the Bess Meyerson trial.
Dave Smith has Celtics action.
And the carolers show their support for an injured friend who's come a long way in a year. Channel 3's Eyewitness News Night Beat is next.
In a winter wonderland.
WFSB, Channel 3, Hartford, New Haven. Now, Eyewitness News Night Beat.
Connecticut's first snowfall came in by surprise this week. Tonight we can tell you in advance there's more on the way. Good evening. It's beginning to look a lot like snow tomorrow. Exactly how much, though, is still hard to say. Dave Nemeth standing by to guesstimate what's coming. Dave?
Well, Don, we are still under a winter storm watch, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island, but it's beginning to look a little bit less like a major storm development. Here's the latest satellite shot. Here you see a storm out to the west that's approaching New England. We have some moisture off the eastern coast, but it's starting to slip away from the storm system, so it looks like now that this is going to be far enough east that this storm approaching from the west is not going to be able to tap enough moisture to bring us a great deal of snow. The best we can do for you right now as far as snowfall amounts to the eastern part of the state, 1 to 3 inches, central portions, or rather eastern portions of the state in Rhode Island, 3 to 5 inches, and further out toward Boston and the Cape, that looks like they will get the most potential for heavy snow, 5 inches or more. So we'll tell you a little bit more about it a little bit later as soon as we get the latest information in. Right now, back to you, Don, Denise.
All right, thank you, Dave. Well, the forecast sent holiday shoppers out in droves tonight. This is the last big shopping weekend before Christmas, and as Channel 3's Duby McDowell reports, many tonight were trying to get a jump on what could be a snowy weekend.
Wondering about the best place to find some action on a Friday night? Well, that depends on which mall is closest to you. With the number of remaining shopping days now into the single digits, malls were the night's hotspots all over the state.
What's the progress of your Christmas shopping so far?
A pair of boots and 2 shirts.
That's all?
Yeah. Well, I work nights and I go to school days, so when you find time.
We asked the observations of someone who can't help but take the pulse of the crowd.
They're running around everywhere. They're too busy to stop by. Usually they're like, oh.
Of course, it's not surprising the stores were crowded tonight, and certainly traffic will increase during the next 9 days.
But there's a little more urgency tonight. The forecast for tomorrow says snow, making it a challenge to get to places like this.
Yeah, that's why I came out tonight instead of tomorrow. Don't know what's going to happen.
I was planning on going shopping tomorrow, but if it snows a lot, I'm not going to be able to. Hopefully it won't snow too much.
Is that going to put you behind? How's your shopping going so far?
I haven't bought anything yet.
It wasn't until we hit Meriden that we came across a rather unusual sight. Someone who wasn't rushing or making an evening of it, but was just doing nothing.
My wife is shopping, and I'm waiting for her.
How long have you been waiting, and how much longer will it be?
Well, I've been waiting about 20 minutes, and I don't know how much longer it's going to be.
But tonight, Fletcher Brown pretty much stood alone, because most of those around him were definitely on a mission. Duby McDowell, Channel 3 Eyewitness News on the Night Beat.
Federal agents tonight report the largest drug bust in New England history. 1,200 pounds of cocaine, more than half a ton, is confiscated in the town of Methuen outside Boston. 4 Colombian suspects are in custody. The coke has an estimated street value of $20 million. In the words of one drug enforcement special agent, this will not be a white Christmas for the bad guys. In Hartford, 27 pounds of marijuana is delivered by Federal Express, but the delivery man is an undercover police officer acting on a tip from El Paso, Texas. The man who takes delivery on the package, 23-year-old Paul Bard, winds up in jail on charges of possession. He's also charged with operating a drug factory.
A $10,000 reward has been posted tonight for information in the death of a Lebanon man. The money is being offered by the family of 26-year-old Jack Rogan. Last month, Rogan was found shot to death in a wooded area of Lebanon, but police do not suspect foul play.
And every indication is that it was a hunting accident. The family is very anxious to put this to rest, to have someone come forward if they are responsible, or anyone who has information on the death to come forward and give them the information so that they know then how Jack died.
A hunter found Rogan's body about a half a mile from Ramble Road.
Testimony from a Suffield, Connecticut woman helps convict political extremist Lyndon LaRouche of tax fraud and conspiracy to cheat supporters whose loans were never repaid. LaRouche, a perennial presidential candidate, faces up to 65 years in prison and more than $3 million in fines. Elizabeth Sexton of Suffield loaned him all the money she had, more than $100,000. And when the barrel went dry, she said, a LaRouche fundraiser persuaded her to try and take out a bank loan in order to give him more. 6 of his associates are also convicted of mail fraud and conspiracy. LaRouche calls the guilty verdict an obscene miscarriage of justice. His attorneys will appeal.
Former Texas Senator John Tower is getting mixed reviews tonight following his nomination for defense secretary. President-elect George Bush today confirmed the worst-kept secret in Washington. The announcement came following an extensive FBI background check.
John Tower is as knowledgeable as anyone in America about defense and national security issues. And he's a true expert on defense policy. And he understands the challenges ahead.
It is essential that America remain strong, that we maintain the ability to defend our country, defend our vital interests abroad, maintain the confidence of our allies, and the respect of our potential adversaries.
Democrats on the Senate Armed Services Committee say Tower will be grilled about his willingness to limit Pentagon spending given the budget deficit. Confirmation hearings will begin the week of January 20th. The U.S. and the PLO officially opened talks in Tunisia. The historic meeting came just 2 days after the U.S. reversed a long-standing policy of refusing to deal with the Palestine Liberation Organization. U.S. Ambassador Robert Pelletreau says the 90-minute talks were practical, that both sides hoped the dialogue would lead to peace in the Middle East. The next meeting is planned for January.
Hartford police tonight are trying to find out more about the death of a city man this evening. Police say the man in his mid-40s was found by the side of Tower Avenue in the city's north end around 6:30 tonight. He was pronounced dead on arrival at Mount Sinai Hospital. Police say he appeared to have a wound on the back of his head. An autopsy will be performed tomorrow. A Wallingford woman hit by an Amtrak train this afternoon is being evaluated at Yale New Haven Hospital tonight after treatment for head injuries. The accident shortly after 3 o'clock this afternoon at the Wallingford train station. 25-year-old Lynn Student got off a northbound Amtrak train that had stopped at the station. She was hit by a southbound train and thrown about 6 feet while attempting to walk across the tracks.
The witnesses said that the southbound train did sound a horn or whistle, and that the train had apparently been traveling, I'd say, approximately 10 miles per hour.
Police tell Channel 3's Diane Alverio they are continuing their investigation. Denise?
Some of the top officials of the city of Meriden are reaching out to a remarkable co-worker this Christmas season. And Night Beat reporter Glenn Pearson has the story from New Britain Memorial Hospital.
Every voice may not have been in key, but the carolers hit the right chord in 28-year-old Donna Metkoski's heart. Nearly 1 year ago, on Christmas Eve, Meriden's former assistant city manager was hit by a car while crossing the street on her way to work. In a coma 5 months, predictions for recovery were not encouraging, but Donna surprised them all.
With a traumatic brain injury, the outcome is very unknown, but we had high hopes, and she certainly reached all of the hopes that we could possibly have had for her.
Donna continues to show signs of progress in physical therapy, though her left side remains paralyzed. She wrote down some of her thoughts on life this past year.
Life certainly is not the same as before. I'm a different person now, a person who is challenged by life and challenges life in return. Rehabilitation is a very long process, but if you're willing to try hard, you will hopefully see progress. Written by Donna Metkoski. All right, Donna.
I think Donna remembers this more than probably long after other people maybe don't. So, yeah, I think it's a great night.
She's just doing great, and we fully expect in a few years, if not sooner, that she's going to be back with us in some capacity.
These are much happier times for Donna and Tom than a year ago. Many feel this is the season for miracles. They feel they've already experienced one. What does it mean to you when you see all of your friends here?
It means I still have a fan club out there.
On the Night Beat, Glenn Pearson, Channel 3 Eyewitness News, New Britain.
The big fan club she has out there.
And she can count us as members, too. Keep up the good work, Donna.
Well, there's a lot more ahead on the Night Beat.